Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Ray here from City Fan TV once again, and we're here to look at the live team news for Man City versus Leicester City in the Premier League. Live team news should come out in the next 4 or 5 minutes, and I was hoping that Liam Delap would start up front with Foden on one side and with Raheem Sterling on the other side. It looks like that's not going to be the way, guys. Reading that it's likely to be Sterling to start up top, which probably means to me you'll have maybe either Foden and Mahrez or Torres and Mahrez out wide. But we'll see. We'll wait to see what happens, guys. We're just waiting on that news to come through. If you see it before me, as usual, let me know. But Chris, how you doing, mate? I'm all right. I've been turfed again, shunted around from room to room. Actually, now the mother-in-law's visiting today, so I'm in another room, hidden away, so I can watch the footy. I've been watching the ladies' game so far. It's 2-0 to City against Leicester City in the FA Cup. Hi, Harry. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Excuse me. So, yeah. Who do you reckon, guys? Who do you want to start? Just waiting for this. Darcy, hope you're well, buddy. Just waiting for the news to come through. I'm just on Twitter as we speak. So, yeah. The early news is that Sterling's playing up front. So, looks like we might not see Delap starting the game. That was my fear or worry or expectation from Pep. Pep generally goes back to your big players. You know, I'd like to see us play with a striker up front. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Play with a striker. But let's go check all these messages coming through, a ton of them. I'd like to play with Liam Delap. You know, why not give him a game? Hi, Darcy, going to be tough, but 3-1 to City, says Darcy. Afternoon, Ikram. Has there been any footy on today? To be honest, I've not been looking. All I know is that Bayern Munich losing 2-1 at half time. I've been watching the women's game and did a little live stream. Oh, come on, why is that stopped? So, yeah, it was 2-0 at half time to City, and there's 20 minutes to go in that. But I'm here with you guys for a few minutes because I've got another interview. I've got an interview with Scott Martin, who's a football analyst, who will be talking about Ruben Dias. Looks like he's about to join City. John Stones, we hear, is injured, so it could be Eric Garcia partnering Nathan Ake. Terrible situation for There's got to be questions asked. There has to be. Preference: Edison, Walker, Garcia, Ake, Mendy, Rodri, Fernandinho, KDB, Mahrez, Delap, Sterling. No Foden. Ikram, see, I'd have had Foden instead of Mahrez simply because the rest of them I can't argue with because I don't think we have the options. No other left back apart from Mendy. I'd have gone for Foden instead of Mahrez simply because Foden's on fire. He's had 2 pretty good games. I think he scored 2 goals. You know, the guy's hot. When you're hot, you've got to keep going. So Mahrez didn't do it for me last game. And I was chatting with somebody on Twitter, and they said, well, it's his first game, because I was a little bit critical. Not critical, I just said he didn't do enough for me. I want the kid to start. Yeah. And Delap, partly because Delap's a striker, partly because Delap will put his body around. He'll work hard. Yeah. He'll work hard. He'll put his foot in. He won't shirk tackles, which I'm afraid, if Mahrez, because he was saying Mahrez should play up top on his own, and I said I just can't see him putting the boot in where it's needed. And I think Foden's got the energy, and he'll keep going. Zachary says Delap start. Well, we'll see if the people that have said it's going to be Sterling up front. I mean, we'll wait and see. I'm just waiting for the news to come out, guys. I'm still looking on Twitter. Nothing on my City app. It's really hard. I'm going to say it's hard work because there's the women's game on as well. Trying to keep an eye on the women's game. Did a team news for them an hour before kickoff. Been watching that game, been commenting on that, and then obviously this City team news is coming out now. Then the women's game will finish. Then I've got to do this interview about Ruben Diaz, who I haven't even researched yet. Well, not the questions I'm going to ask, but I think Scott will just bang. He'll give me the answers anyway. So I think that'll be easier for me than I would expect. For Foden could probably get in there. I just have worries that he play 3 games 6 days. Yeah, but Mahrez is coming. You know, Mahrez has missed a lot of time. I don't worry. I don't worry about. He's a kid. Delap is out for Foden. There you go. Thanks, Faris. Hey, my things not even come up. So let's have a look. So it had to be Walker, Garcia, Ake, Mendy, Rodrigo, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling, Foden. It's a shame Delap's on the bench. I don't agree with it, but who cares what I I don't. No one cares what I think. Where's the bench? Is Stefan, Zinchenko, Laporte, Torres, Delap, Doyle, Palmer, Cole Palmer on the bench. A lot of kids on the bench, guys. When you look at that, Delap, Torres, Delap, Doyle, and Palmer. So it's a very strong showing from the kids on the bench. And it's interesting that Laporte's on the bench and Zinchenko's on the bench, which to me indicates they're ready to be on the bench, which to me indicates next Wednesday they could play in the Carabao Cup if we wanted them to play in the Carabao Cup. Ikram, I just think it depends on the game, doesn't it? It depends on the game situation, the score, how we're playing, whether we're effective or ineffective. You know, if that front three are very effective, then fair enough. I tell you what, it was very close to putting Delap in my fantasy, or telling my kid to put Delap in his fantasy 11. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to put Delap in my fantasy 11, and then I forgot to change it, which is really daft from me, isn't it? Let's have a look at my team. Doing really poor this season, really poor. Harry Kane's got me some points, and Bamford's got me some points, which is good. But I was going to have Delap. But anyway, see what you guys are saying. I've not even seen the other scores. I've been watching the women's game. Yeah, Ikram, depends how the game goes. I've got my weekly transfers. Well, I had to do a wild card. I had to do a wild card because my team was a mess. I had too many players not playing for me, basically. I just had too many players not playing for me. I had, I think, 3 not playing, and I picked one keeper who doesn't play because I think I picked Martin instead of Martinez. So Martin doesn't play, so that was a risk. And then people like not playing, so to throw the wild card in because it was just too many to do. Ikram, I always do wild card early in the season. I always do it because my team's it was a mess. And I wanted to get Sterling and KDB in as well. So my team is a mess. My lad, he started a week late. He's going to overtake me. Anyway. So what do you reckon, guys? That's our lineup. I don't think we have many choices. The only option for me was Mahrez or Liam Delap. That was it. There was no other options. So we've got Edison in goal. Walker, he's had a decent start to the season. Garcia and Ake. Well, I'm glad Ake's there. Because we're going to need some pace against Vardy. There's going to be trouble from Vardy, from Barnes, from Perez, I think. Not from Itchy, Nacho. There'll be trouble from Tielemans. He's getting into form. Chris is going for 3-1 to City. I did 2 different previews. Now, one of them I said 2-0, one of them I said 3-1. Because I just don't think we will keep a clean sheet. Yeah, Ikram, Vardy, and Barnes are going to be a handful. I just find it very difficult. We've got the pace of Walker, but we had the pace of Walker last season when Vardy got past him and scored. Just check the messages. Loads. You put Havertz in Barnes, that big mistake, Zachary. 2-1 to City, says Zachary. Look, Blues, I wouldn't say get rid, but it is very frustrating for Stones to be injured again. And I said, I said before the season started, for Stones, for me, this was before we knew Garcia was not going to sign a new contract. I was expecting, Pep had said Stones needs a run of games. He needs fitness. He needs confidence. He's never going to get fitness. He's not going to get. He's not going to get game time if he's not fit. And if you're not getting game time, you're not going to get confidence. You're not going to get match fit. You're not going to get your form sorted out. It's a huge concern. Obviously, I don't know if it's minor or I think it is minor. It might just be for 1 or 2 games, but people are obviously worried. Social media's awash with people worried about Stones' situation. And I said, look, it depends on money and stuff as well. Would you still get Koundé? Would you still push for Koundé? The kid wants to leave. He wants to come to City. He's unsettled. Sevilla want 70 million. And I understand why they want 70 million because, it's very late in the day. They've had the kid for 1 year. They could, if he has another good season, probably get 70 million if there's no COVID issues, if that's sorted out. And it's so late in the window. They'd have to go out and get somebody, and that's an issue. And we were trying to send Otamendi the other way. That was part of the deal, by the sounds of it. But it's a worry. It's a worry. If Stones is going to be like that, it's a lot of problems at the same time. Hi, Olivia. How you doing? Blue Check. Still an injury, absolutely. Might be said, would you take Cavani on a 6-month loan? Would Cavani come on a 6-month loan, Ikram? That's the issue. He's probably looking to go somewhere for a couple of years. And would he be happy being a stopgap at City for, coming to City and then in 2 months' time, Aguero's back and Cavani's on the bench? Is he going to be happy with that? I'm not so sure. At his age, does he want to play? Who knows? But yeah, the Stones thing is a worry. We've got Garcia not signing a new contract. Stones, there's an issue there. So trying to work out if that's a bad shave or drop some food there. My lads coming in and out. Come on, City, said Jarek. I, Faris, just finished a lecture and exam just in time to see Lana cracking. You're famous now, Faris. Why's that? Faris is the most, in the last week anyway, he's the most, he's the guy with the most comments on the broadcast. I think Ikram was second and Blue Chan had 54. Faris had about 190. And I think Ikram was about 108 or somewhere in between. Problem is, Edwin, who else can we play? This is the problem. Stones is injured. So Laporte's not ready, so he's out. Unless we pay Fernandinho or Rodri at the back, which I don't think we want to do, we've got no choice. The only other option is Fernandinho, and you could argue that Fernandinho and Rodri should be playing in the middle. All right, using Faris's comment. Well, it just saved me doing a copy and paste, Faris. Saved me doing the copy and paste. Normally, I'd copy and paste. I will see if I can get mine. I'm not doing it to get rid of yours, but let me have a look. Sam Lewis, I'm just looking at the women's team. What's going on? Sam Lewis on for Jill Scott. Jess Park on for Chloe Kelly. Nice to see Jess Park back. Chloe Kelly playing with a lot of confidence. Let's have a look if I can. Because what I want to do, I did have a look at all the. I want to put the subs on as well, but I can't find it. I can't find it on my. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Let's put my lineup, and I want to put the sub. See, the thing is, I want to put the subs on. So here we go. So yeah, Laporte is on the bench, so he's fit, but he's not fit to start. I think that's the issue. Tarting 11. I have to put that in again. Edit, paste. Can't block myself, so I'm going to leave it there. My comment there. Anyway, Cavani's evident with Juventus. Let's go. I think it's his age, Blue Chand. The pot's on the bench. Even till I think that's the problem. Zachary right. Till Alves was never going to start against Leicester. Even if Garcia doesn't want to renew, why should that mean we shouldn't play him? I disagree with those who think I should never go to again. He's gone. He's gone about it in a reasonable manner. What I'm saying is, Ikram, when we've got everybody there, I don't want to develop him. We're using him because we have no choice. Yeah, John Stones is injured. Olivia says, I think I got why Pepe's starting Garcia. We do not have too many options. We show Barca we still use him if they don't pay the release clause. Absolutely. Stones is injured, Miles. So there's nothing we can do about that. And look, what are the options? Seriously. In midfield, Zinchenko's not fit. Bernardo's not fit. Okay? So what options do we have? Do you put Fernandinho in the back four? Then who do you play in midfield? Gundogan's not ready. Hi, Gerard. Hope you're well, mate. So Gundogan's not there. Bernardo's not there. Zinchenko. So you've got no midfield. You've got no second defensive midfielder if you put Fernandinho in defence. No choice. No choice. So, yeah, Faris, is unlucky, or is it something else now? Zachary, I thought as well. Look, Delap will start against Burnley. So you could look at it that way instead. That he's not playing today, but he'll start against Burnley. So that's his chance. Whatever we say, I would have loved him to play today, but he's got his chance on the Wednesday against Burnley. So he's just got to take his chance. Miles says he's always injured, Middleglass. I can't argue with that. Guys, if anybody is new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe, hit that bell icon, so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Give us a thumbs up, guys. It's always nice to get 30 thumbs up quickly. We used to do that, bang, just like that. So let's get back there, guys. Let's, if you like the channel, if you are subscribed, just give us a thumbs up. Ikram, I agree. I would play Garcia if we have to. Yeah, that's it. If we've got no other option. When Diaz comes in, Laporte is fit, then of course Garcia won't play. I think if Diaz comes, Garcia could go to 200. I think that's correct. I think if Diaz comes, once we get a few people back, once Diaz arrives, I think Garcia and Otamendi go. And also, when Bernardo's back, by next weekend, I don't expect to see Garcia playing for City. Bernardo will be back, hopefully, or well, at least Zinchenko will be back, and Laporte. At worst, we'll have Laporte and Aki. If Stones is back, then Garcia's out. That's the way it's going to work. And then, obviously, if we got Zinchenko back, if we got Gundogan, because Gundogan's had COVID-19, Gundogan and Bernardo, then we can play somebody else with Rodri and put Fernandinho in defence if we had nobody else at right centre-back. If that was an issue, that's how we do it. I'll get to your point in a second, Paris. I want to just go. The quicker Diaz comes, the better, says Miles. You can't honestly say Garcia look better than Taylor against Bournemouth. I'm going to go with him because he's had more experience. That's it. Brian, I do, mate. I would have given that a chance. Yeah, I agree. But on the other hand, look at it this way. Delap will get a game on Wednesday against Burnley, who are another Premier League side, who will put out a decent side. So you can argue swings and roundabouts. Delap will get another chance on Wednesday. Zachary yes, it might be tomorrow, Zachary. I think it might well be tomorrow, simply because here's a reason. He has to do his medical. I heard his medical was going to be this weekend, and he's flying to Manchester. I heard, according to the journalists, if you think they're true, Monday or Tuesday flying to Manchester. I think they won't announce him until they've done the publicity. So it might be Tuesday or Wednesday that he's announced. Once he's passed his medical, that's what I see, because he has to do all the stuff. And you can see no Otamendi in the obviously once again in the starting lineup or on the bench. So he's off skip. We knew that anyway. GRX, I want to see Delap deal with the high crosses. Will pump in. Absolutely. Tell me when was the last time we had a half? Absolutely. That's why I say, Faris, you got to at least question what's going on with our training and medical staff. Faris, some of our fans are on who signed this. Oh, they can get stuffed. I'm not going to, mince me words. They can get stuffed, Faris, because they're idiots. And all those idiots who said Otamendi, we're selling him for 6 million, and cheek is a joke, and this and that, and everything else. We've now apparently selling Otamendi for 15 million euros, which is about 13.5 to 14 million quid. He's a 32-year-old with 2 years left on his contract and he's no future at City. Is that good money? 14 million quid, 13.5, 14 million quid? I think it is. And we're going to get a profit in the accounts on Otamendi, somewhere in the region of, I think, 7 million. So our accounts are 7 million pounds better off with the sale of Otamendi. Cash flow is better off. Obviously, we save on his other stuff. So it's all, you know, good. But no one's going to come out, and all these people who had a pop at him, no one is going to say that he's done a good job. Praying for Koulibaly transfer will happen. Gerard, can't see it myself. I don't think City. You look at what City were offering. I've got 10 minutes max, guys. We offered 55 for Koulibaly, around 50-50. I think 50 for Koundé and 50 for Diaz. We weren't pushing the boats out on the money, guys. The reason we didn't get Koulibaly, we didn't pay enough money. The reason we didn't get Koundé, we didn't offer enough money, and Sevilla turned it down. They wanted more. Straight away, we went to Diaz. It was the right money. Got the deal done just like that. If Sevilla had said yes to the Koundé offer, we'd have got Koundé first. That's what I believe. Garcia is controversial, Danny. We don't have any choice. We don't have any choice. We've got no other defenders. Stones is out. Laporte's on the bench. Diaz isn't here. Who else could we have played? You know, if we put Fernandinho there, then we've got nobody in midfield. It was an absolute mess. It is a mess to have so many injuries. Khalid Koulibaly saga is over. I'm glad. It's a shame we couldn't get him, but Ada was asking for too much money. Absolutely, especially in these times. I don't want to pay 75 to 80 for a 20-man. You know, I don't mind because it's not our money. Bad against Garcia. Well, we've got to rely on Walker on one side and Aki on the other side for the pace. Support your local. What's that mean, Danny? Support your local what? Team? I don't know, mate. Edwin, is Garcia that much better than Tosin? Tosin's apparently not even training with the first team. So, you know he's on his way out. You know he's on his way out. Otamendi didn't even get a simple farewell. 5 years of discipline, passion, service, absolutely. Walker should keep an eye on Vardy and stay in his defence, not going up to try and score and forget his first job, says Jamal. Otamendi deserves a bit of credit, but he's always puts in 100%, says Danny. Look, he played 35 out of 38 games in the Centurion season. Don't anybody forget that. How long is going out for? Well, Chris, he had the coronavirus. So, assuming he's asymptomatic, he's been out for a week. So, I think he possibly could be ready for next weekend. Possibly. If not the Leeds game, the weekend after. Because obviously, he's got to do his 10 days in isolation, which would be almost up now. I think it's almost up by Monday or Tuesday this week. You could look at it this way. He was pretty fit because I think he'd gone on international duty. So he's fit then. He's missed 10 days. If he keeps himself fit, he might be available next weekend on the bench. But it'll give us more options. How long this turns out, we don't know, John. Don't know. But in even this 1 or 2 games, it's frustrating because this was you could argue, his final chance. Miles says, I really do think we need new physios. Well, I don't think it's the physios. It's our training. It's got to be our training. Cheeky in says, Blue Chand, absolutely, mate. Yes, Cheeky should stay. He's pretty much signed. Yes, well done, says Zachary. But a lot of people won't say that. Gerard, will Pep go and get a stop striker? I don't think so. If Jesus is back in about 3 weeks, Aguero in about 5 or 6 weeks. Aguero will be back by November, sometime early November, and Jesus will be back, let's say 3 weeks from now. Danny, everybody gives stick for not supporting their local team, but it isn't much of a problem for me as I like it. It's all over every social. Yeah, look, I'm from Greater Manchester. I used to live about 7-8 miles from the ground. Is that local enough? Is Cavani a shout? Zachary, I don't think we'll do it. Cavani might like the idea in the short term. In the next 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to be playing. And then you're out. Because as soon as Aguero comes back, as soon as Jesus is fit, what happens to Cavani? Next week is the last week before the international break, Ikram. So I suggest after the international break, if we don't lose any more players, Stones should be fit. Zinchenko will be fit. Laporte will be fit. Gabriel Jesus will be almost fit. Aguero won't be. And who else? I missed one person out. Cancelo might be fit. But we'll have at least 4 more players. Gundogan, Zinchenko, Laporte. They'll be back. You can see Zinchenko and Laporte on the bench. So, and Gabby J will be almost. Gabby J might be back. Might be ready. So Zinchenko, Laporte, and Gundogan, and maybe Gabby J. So I think by then we'll be a much stronger team. Diaz hopefully will be here. We'll have at least 4, probably 5, even 6 players, depending on Cancelo's situation. We might have 6 extra players to choose from, and no Garcia. Let's just go through these quickly, guys, because I'm going to disappear in about 4 or 5 minutes. Faris, just me, guys, if you look at it in 3 years, Koulibaly would have declined a lot, whereas Diaz would be. But the thing is, Faris, if for 3 years Koulibaly was the guy you wanted, the guy who was a leader, he did everything you needed for 3 years, I don't begrudge paying the money. It's not our money. Oh, yes, we pay a little bit of money to the club for tickets and stuff, but it's not our money in the overall scheme of things. And if City thought he was the right person and paid the right money, if they wanted to pay 80 million, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to worry what Liverpool fans say. So what? We've got money, you spend it. Do you go, how many people here complain that Richard Branson's bought an island for 80 million quid? How many people complain? It's his money, he does what he wants with it. None of our business. I wouldn't start going on giving this Fernandinho Rodri pack double pivot. Well, we have to see, Edwin, it's only been 1 game. We have to see how it goes. Ikram, I wouldn't mind combining, but like we say, would it? Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't even be a few months, Ikram, because you've got the international break. If Gabby's back after the international break, Cavani might get 2 games and that's it. Yeah, Blue Chandy, look, he wants to play games, so he's going to do that. I'm surprised as well, beyond game in some respects, but this is Pep. Pep always goes back to his experienced players. But I expect Delap to start on Wednesday against Burnley. So is that such a bad thing? As long as he's getting the Carabao Cup games, I'm not going to be too unhappy. But I would have liked him to play. Miles says 3-1 to City. Sterling, Mahrez and Torres off the bench. Hoping for easy Champions League draw on Thursday. Oh, is that coming up? It's too much going on. Hey, Bohum El Wafi, how you doing, brother? Salam to you, mate. At strike force of Costa and Suarez is enough to give defenders nightmares. But Suarez has still got a little bit about him. Does a lot to do for signings. But Sakri, I wouldn't compare the two. I just let him have it. I think Aki's in the bench. No, Mustafa Aki is playing. We have no choice. We don't have links, Julian Parava. We don't have links. We are just here to go through the live team news as we've done. Absolutely, Danny Sarni's boots were empty last season and the previous 6 months apart after that goal against Liverpool on the 3rd of January or 4th of January. Stones always gets in. Going plus get Stones. That says John. John's not happy with Stones being injured. Money's there to be spent at the end of the day. Absolutely. If we've got it, spend it. Who cares? Talking about spotting up, the majority of United fans are cutting his. Well, you see, the trains were always full when, for Man United home games. The trains to London were always packed. Newcastle penalty, Jose Furious. I don't care. Let Tottenham score. Newcastle score. Smalling is better than KK. Ask anyone who watches CR regularly. Says, who was that? Edwin. Blue Chance Tree, if you go to Old Trafford, you can't hear anyone from Manchester. Well, there are some. 2-1 to City, says Faris. Wednesday, I believe it's on Thursday, Faris. Yes, well, John City on Swap, says Robert. Edwin, I agree with you. I don't know why United are keeping Smalling. He's actually doing very well for Roma. Just let him go. Let him go. Being given as well, says Zachary. Maybe Stones should go and get Koundé. That's what I said, Robert. Faris, to be honest, it could be a strange and unfair season. Many players will be injured or missing due to the virus, not only for City. Imagine Liverpool football. Like, yeah, it can happen. Another handball be a big blow, says Olivia. See you later, Chris. See you later. I think it's going to be a tough game, and I think it will be a 1-0 smashing grab, just like last season at the King Power. Says Beyond Ultra Gaming. The handball ruling is a disgrace. I love seeing rival fans clubs lose, but wow, yeah. Controversial decision left, right, and centre. Yeah. I don't like the handball, Sam. Nice to have you. I haven't seen you for a little while, I don't think. But the handball rule is a little bit ridiculous at the moment. It just looks like almost anything is given as a handball, which doesn't strike me as right. Come on, guys, just before I leave now, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We would really love to get to 3,000 subscribers. We did really well in August and a bit of September, but it's gone a bit quiet now, guys. So please, we obviously seem to get hit now with the dislikes, but give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. 116 Faris, did you see the Brighton United game? No, Ikram, I was not well yesterday. I was not well at all. I only got up for, I had a few things I had to do in the morning with my kids, but that was a struggle. And then I came home and just went to bed for a few hours, and I got up for the West Brom game. I didn't get up for that game. I got up around that just before the West Brom game started, and I watched that. And then I was working on editing. I was working late last night editing the video on Koundé. It's a cracking video, guys. You've got to, honestly, you've got to go and watch that Koundé video, because there's a lot of cracking information from Scott Martin, the Total Football Analyst contributor, who covers La Liga games. In his background is Portuguese, so he's going to talk to me, and he watches the NOS in Portugal League, and he's going to talk to me in about 3 minutes' time about Ruben Diaz. Harry Mill says City 3, Vardy 1. I'll say 3-1. I can't see us keeping out a clean sheet, Faris. And what would you change in the lineup? For me, I'd still change Liam Delap. I wanted him to play. The guy's buzzing. He's on top of the world. I'd have liked him to play. Who's your bit of the handball rule now? Says Zachary. Yeah, well, it's not good for Spurs. Right, guys, I will see you at full time. Anybody wants to send the videos in, Scotty, not Scott Martin, but Scotty, he's sending a video in every game. So if anybody else wants to do the same, we will set some stuff up. So I think from next week, we'll put it out there. There's an email address where, let's just see. There's an email address where you can send videos if you want. Ivy didn't work. And all I say is, and for you, Scotty, as well, see my own knackered case, do it in landscape so it's come across like that. It fills the screen. If you do it in portrait, we only get a bit of the screen. I don't like that. See you later, guys. And I hope Sterling scores because he's in my fantasy team. Guys, take it easy. Catch you up full time. See you around Blues.